whack a comment down there if you have felt the full blow of mum burnout. And, mum burnout looks like, you're dog tired, you're irritated easily, you get to the point of snapping irrationally, you're eating on the run, perhaps you're not sleeping, just in case you need to one ear open for, one of the kids that might be having a rough time. Maybe they're sick and you're sleeping beside them. Maybe you're bed sharing. Maybe, one of the kiddos has had night terrors or is having some separation anxiety because of school holidays, lots of things. And, you know, um, uh, so much leads to mum burnout. And, we're not just got one job anymore. And this is what people that aren't parents don't understand. And dads don't have that same maternal connection like mums do, where we're literally on high alert. Like literally we just open our eyes and bang at the sound of one noise, even if they are 3 rooms away. And, juggling work, juggling daycare and primary school or school holiday activities, taking them to and from grandma and granddad if that's what they're doing, taking them to and from friends' houses if they're staying at friends' houses during school holidays, all of the things, plus juggling work, depending on how many jobs you're going to or what job you got on that day, plus grocery shopping, plus paying bills, plus taking the dog to the vet, who knows, like all of the things. It's exhausting. It can be utterly exhausting. And I've got to admit it, I think sometimes school holidays are more exhausting than not. And, so many people go, oh, thank God it's school holidays. And I have those moments. And I did have those moments before of, oh, yep, school holidays. At least I don't have to make lunch. So today, actually, when I got up, I was able to go and have my hour of power in the morning, totally easily done to myself. No rush, no stress, no anything, because I didn't need to worry about, getting the kids to school because they already do their lunches and things like that. My kids are a bit older and well versed in what they need to get themselves organised for. And it was just so good. So school holidays for me now is like, I just get that extra half an hour in the morning of where we're not rushing in traffic to school and doing school drop off, or, oh, I've forgotten something and we're rushing back. And it's just a little bit nicer. However, school holidays once upon a time, many years ago, used to be like, oh my God, I dreaded school holidays. Dreaded school holidays because the extra organization, the extra entertainment, the extra toing and froing of getting them where they needed to be because they weren't getting on the bus to go to and from school was tenfold. So I used to dread school holidays. And, it was intense. It was the surefire way to mum burnout tipping over the edge. And, mum burnout, crazy. Like it can lead to overwhelm. It increases stress, irritation, frustration. We end up yelling. Then we're beating ourselves up because we're not being the parent that we want to be. Then we're going on these guilt trips with ourselves. Oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry. What is wrong with me? I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible parent. And then we spiral. And then we go into those spaces of being a solo parent, being a single mom, being whatever that looks like for you. We can even go into that space of bitterness and resentment and judgment and criticism and victim mood because it's just a lot. It's overwhelming and we can spiral. And I hated school holidays because of that. Hated it because I couldn't just call up a parent and say, hey, can you have the kids? Because I didn't have that. I didn't have that support, space, opportunity, person. It was all me. And if I didn't make it work, it didn't work. So I had to make it work. And be it good, bad, or ugly now, same thing. Now owning my own business, my second business that I've had in the last few years, a global international business. If I don't make my business work, I don't feed my kids. It's do or die. This has to work. And, when we're even just going from job to job or, if we're juggling jobs and we've got the kids and we're going to and from school, holiday care and those sorts of things, we have to go to work because if we don't go to work, we don't get the money. Or perhaps, we are the stay-at-home mum and we are at home, and then it's about juggling finances, it's about juggling activities, it's about juggling what are you going to do to be able to put food on the table but still keep your kids happy and entertained even more so. Because then what happens at the end of the school holidays, regardless of whether you're a working mum or a stay-at-home mum, we then get even more guilt come onto us because we didn't take our kids away on a holiday because we couldn't afford it, or we didn't have the resources. Perhaps our car needed to be serviced, or perhaps we needed new tires, or perhaps we needed something, and we haven't been able to budget or afford it at that time. And so, the whole cycle of mum burnout can go again, where overwhelm, increased stress, frustration, all of the things, beating ourselves up because we're not being the parent that we want to be in that space either. Oh, just talking about it and building it all up, I'm just remembering so much of what that used to be like. And it's a lot, a lot. So I see you, Mama. I see you. I hear you. I was that. And even now, I'm so lucky, like the kids will text me or call me, like, I got a message before, Mum, we need milk. Yep, awesome. I'll get milk on the way home. Mum, what's this? Or I'm going off here, or, they've got friends coming over or friends going, and they'll text me with the coming and going stages so I know where they are all the time. So I'm really lucky that I've been able to communicate and have that communication back with my kids. But that's because we have to work as a team. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Teamwork makes the dream work. And they know that if I don't come to work and work, then they're not going to get what they want. Plain and simple, really. So, how do we cope with mum burnout? Like, what do we do? Whack it in the comments. Like, who tries to be the superwoman all the time? Let me hear it. I tried to be the superwoman from birth. I cooked everything. I made everything. I even did that as the single mum to be able to get money to stretch and flow. And I'll talk about that in another session about how to manage, tips and tricks around finances and stuff like that. I baked and baked and baked. And I was probably lucky that I lived in such a remote area, and I used to get paid monthly with the job that I had, that I learned to be really savvy with budgeting, and I always have been, but even more so being in a financially abusive situation as well. I was savvy, very savvy with everything that I cooked, and the freezers would always be full of food because I would cook in bulk and make it stretch and work. So savvy, and you make it work, and that's what mums do. We just make it work. People go, how do you do it? It's like, you just do, because if you don't, what happens? It doesn't, and the whole wheels fall off. And it's exhausting enough as it is for then the wheels to fall off, to then have to pick it up and fix it ourselves, because who else is going to come in and do that? Can we have the magic fairy wand come in, please? Yeah, no, because the only person that's going to answer that magic fairy wish is ourselves. So, it's about remembering that we're human. That yes, we are fucking superwomen, don't get me wrong, and we are our children's heroes, and we are the hero of our own story. But it's about remembering that you are human. It's about remembering that, you're not immune to all of the things. I'm not immune to all of the things. I'm human too. And, we all have our own right as humans to be nurtured. And we need to nurture ourselves. And that's something that we don't do, because as single mums, we put ourselves last. Even just as mums, we put ourselves last. Because that's what society has conditioned us to be, do, see, how, behave, all of the things. That's the mum's role. How do we communicate that with our partners? They don't understand. They don't get it. They just brush it off. They have a big, like, oh, hissy fit, or whatever it is, if that's what it used to look like. And it's about remembering that we're meeting our child's basic needs regardless, and those basic needs are you. Our children's basic needs is their mum. Food, water, somewhere to sleep, roof over their head, clothes, nurturing. Plain and simple. And They're the basic needs, that nurturing. And perhaps you weren't nurtured yourself as a child, so you struggle to nurture yourself now. But you can nurture your children till the cows come home. Or perhaps you get that busy, that overwhelmed from mum burnout that you don't have anything left in the tank to nurture your children. And that's totally okay. Don't beat yourself up about it, because you're doing the best that you can right now with what you've got. And the more that we give ourselves some grace and compassion in these moments, then we're nurturing ourselves, and then we're starting to fill our cup with some love, and then we can give it to our kids. Then we can take our deep breaths and step back and remember that we can give it to our kids. So how do we minimize this burnout apart from nurturing ourselves? Well, Cass, it's all good and well to say go nurture yourself. And I get that, because a lot of people say, oh, you just need a bit of self-care. It's like, fuck off with your self-care. I get that too. So, it's about, when we think about nurturing ourselves, I'm not saying that we need to go on this health retreat or a little R&R weekend away, or we need to go to the spa, or we need to go get a massage, or, I'm not saying that sort of stuff, because that's just surface level. Yep, I'll be that coach, that person, that therapist that says, yep, as much as that's self-care, it's surface level, because it actually isn't deep down inside. It's not deep down inside nurturing. It's surface level. Deep down inside nurturing is having compassion for yourself in moments where it's really fucking hard. Deep down inside yourself, it's having grace. It's nurturing. It's giving yourself permission to just know that you're just doing the best that you can right now, because it's fucking school holidays, or at any time. And what I love to bring to the table for nurturing is, what makes you tick? What makes you feel on top of the world? Take a moment now and even drop it in the comments, because it might be great inspiration for another mum. It's like, I don't know, I've got nothing. I can't even remember anymore. I'm just taking day by day, one step in front of the other. I don't even know what makes me tick anymore. So a mum might really love your ideas. A mum might really love what you do for you that makes you tick. So please share, because others might really benefit from it. And what really just goes, oh, that's so good. I'm so glad I did that today. When you're on fire and everything's going really well, everything's working, and you're like, hell yes, mama, I got this. I am on fire. Watch me burn, and you're in that whole moment of, hell yes, I got this. I got this. I got this. What is going on for you when that feeling is coming in? When that feeling of, oh, yes, I'm winning. Yes, yes, yes. What is going on for you? What is making that feeling alive? What has been going well? What has been working that you've been doing that gives you that result, that feeling, that hell yes, and that's nurturing. That's our feel good moments. That's our pat on the back. That's our high five. That's our fish. How's my words going? That's our fist pump in the air for ourselves. That's us cheering ourselves on. That's us recognizing, validating that what we're doing is good, working, hell yes moments, worthy of all of our happy dances. What is going on when we have those moments? And they're the moments of nurturing. They're the moments that we're pulling back in to go, oh, yes. It's our hell yes moment. It's our fuck yeah, we've got this moment. And it's remembering those. That's the nurturing. That's the compassion. That's the self-love. That's the clapping yourself. That's the cheering you on. That's you doing the thing for you. We didn't need anybody else to do that. We didn't need anybody else to make us feel that feeling. We made ourselves feel like that, and that came from within. And it's that we need to jar. We need to bottle that stuff, stick it in a jar, and save it forever. Because if we could do that, we'd buy it by the box full. We wouldn't care how much it cost. So what are those things? So it could be things like, for me, it's sleep. For me, it's sleeping between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Honestly, those 2 hours of the day can be the best thing ever. And that's a Sunday morning for me, if I can do it. If I don't have to run one of the kids to school, or, we don't have something on, or we're not traveling, we're not doing whatever. That's it for me. If I can get that sleep easily, I feel $1 million. I'll do my hour of power though during the weekdays, and that'll be, 5:30 to 6:30 or 6:30 6 to 7. And that's my whole time before kids. And that's what makes me tick, my hour of power. And my hour of power for me looks like getting up, going out and doing stretches, then going out and doing grounding outside. Then I go for I either go to the gym or I go for a walk or a run. And then I'm doing more stretches. And then I have a little food routine that I do. And then I'll do some journaling as well. And that's my hour of power. And that's what sets me up for the best day. And I've had to work on that, don't get me wrong. And it doesn't work every day. Like, I'll usually give myself days off, and some days it all goes to shit, don't get me wrong either. And that's when all the overwhelm and the increased stress and everything comes in, because my hour of power has gone away. And I know that. I know this. I know that that's what makes me tick. So what makes you tick? Maybe it's that I know that when I first was solo, single parent, just sleeping, I would go to sleep. I bought all of my kids double beds and queen size beds, so that putting them to bed, or if they got up in the middle of the night, I could put them back to bed so that I wasn't co-sleeping in my own bed. I tried to make really strong boundaries about that, because actually in the beginning, going from a 1-bedroom bungalow to then a house where everyone had their own rooms, I had a sea of mattresses around my bed because it was so foreign for that. And even prior to becoming a single parent, all of us used to sleep together. And, to separate that out, that took some time. There was a sea of mattresses there. So I ended up buying my kids double beds and queen beds. I could sleep in with them, or if they had friends over, there was enough space. And it was so good because I could still sleep. I could go and jump into bed with them and still sleep, and not be, all curled up or half off the bed, or one leg over and one leg back. And those of you who know me in person, I'm a very tall person. I'm 5'11". I'm a tall person. So, I needed the extra room. So other things that are what makes you tick could be being organized, could be having an hour of power, could be having an extra 20 minutes in the morning where you've actually been able to really wake up and just select clothes for the day and take some time for you. It could be that you've then gone for a walk, or taken the dog for a walk for 20 minutes, or perhaps gone and watched your favorite show for half an hour, or read your book for 20 minutes, or listened to a podcast while emptying the dishwasher. It could be putting on a load of washing ready to hang out before you leave the house for the day. There could be lots of little things. And see how none of those actually cost money? Because generally, those things that make us tick doesn't cost anything. It just costs us our time. And it either costs us our time on one side of recognizing that we're taking this little bit of extra time to make our life easier, or it's time on the other side when we're in burnout and we have no choice but to rest because we're that fucking exhausted. So, where do you want to place your time? This is hours, days, weeks. This is minutes. And when we look at it like that, we're like, yeah, that's true. That 10 minutes in bed where we've snoozed and then we get up feeling even crappier when we could have got up and had the washing on. And that could look like the night before that you've loaded the washing up, it's all ready to go, and you literally just push the button in the morning. You get up, you walk to the kitchen, you stick the coffee machine on, or we put the kettle on, or whatever that looks like. I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't know. And you then go and push the button on the washing machine, get that going, and you come back and you can do some mindfulness with stirring your coffee, or resort, straighten up your cupboard, or wipe down the benches, or unstuck the dishwasher, perhaps straighten something up, because those things, those couple of minutes at the end of the day alleviates mum burnout to no end. To no end. Tell me I'm wrong. Whack it in the comments. What else? One of the other things too, a really crucial part actually, or a really key component that I've found a lot, is that we can find in school holidays that we need to be the sole entertainer for our kids. And I mentioned this at the start, that it takes extra entertainment or extra onus on us to entertain it. It's like when we go away on holidays, it's actually more work for us as the parent, especially the mum, because we then have to entertain our kids even more, because they're not in their home environment. They don't have the familiarity. I hope I got that word right. They're then looking to us all the time. Mum, what can I do now? Mum, can I go here? Mum, can I go there? And you're running around even more. So sometimes it's more exhausting to go on holidays than it is to stay at home. Mum burnout. So, it's about allowing your kids to entertain themselves. So it's about allowing them that if they want to do a puzzle, or if they want to play something, allow them to do it on their own for a few minutes at a time if they're not used to it, and allow that to grow so that they are getting used to and emotionally regulating themselves to not need you to be their structure around entertainment, and B, that they're using their own brain. They're not relying on you to actually fulfill whatever they're desiring to do. So it could be that, you bought something from Bunnings, or maybe you've got a heap of paint and some butcher's paper and they're out painting. Mum, 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 come with us, come with us. Yep, just say, yep, I'll be out there in 3 minutes. I just need to do this one little job and I'll be right with you. And don't be any longer than 3 minutes. Don't burst their little bubble, because you're building trust in them, especially if your kiddos suffer from separation anxiety. So this is a great technique for separation anxiety as well. Go out there and be there and go, yep, okay, let them be painting, let them do whatever, spend some time with them, And it's like, mummy just needs to go and hang out the washing, or mummy just needs to go and check on one thing. And, or it could be, mummy just needs to go to the toilet. Go to the toilet, do some deep breathing like I've showed you, scroll Facebook, connect with a friend, whatever that looks like, have some time out. You've created a little bit of extra time for them to be entertaining themselves, and then go back again. Be remembering to still be there and be present with them in those moments, because that absolutely helps with separation anxiety, and it absolutely helps with your kids entertaining themselves so they don't need you 24/7 right there beside them, attached at the hip. And that can bring us unstuck over school holidays as well. Let them read books on their own. Let them watch TV for half an hour and then go outside and play for half an hour, and then come back in and watch something else for half an hour. But they're out there entertaining themselves, breaking their state, not being monotonous in one space. It builds healthy attachment. It builds them being comfortable in their own space and with themselves. And it also builds their creativity and their dreams. Maybe they'll make a fort, or maybe they want to take out some of the old sheets or the old towels and create something in the trees. You never know what could come of that. Or maybe they want to make a veggie garden. Allow them then to go out and plant it and water it and all of those things. And the other thing is too, is that if you live in town, parks are lifesavers. Walk down to the park. Sit at the park. Even if you scroll mindlessly on your phone at the park, they're entertaining themselves. I'm at the park, how exciting! There's other kids, there's other mums. It's good for you to connect. It's good for you too. Nurturing them, nurturing you, and having fun. Great little tips for mum burnout and how to prevent that. So if anyone else has any other tips on mum burnout and what they've done, perhaps you've experienced it and would like to share, please do. We're not alone. And if you've got some tips as to what helped you, please share. Would love to hear. I hope you all have the best rest of your night. I'll chat with you tomorrow.